Alright guys, welcome back. I'm gonna upload a video in my newsroom. The link below to the newsroom is below this video. It's free, just download the app. It's real convenient. You can do it on your PC or phone. So in that video, I'm just raw, uncut. I'm sick of the censorship. So I'm just gonna, every once in a while, maybe I'll upload a video in there where I don't have to worry about you know, the repercussions, because when I make these videos, I'm biting my tongue big time. You guys might not think that, but I am. That's why sometimes I sound weird and I use certain words. Anyways, I'm gonna post that in there, so if you want to hear me for once, like really take the filter off and just, you know, speak the truth, there you go. Because and it's important stuff. That's why I did it, because there's some serious important things you guys need to know and understand to why this world is so messed up, okay, and where it's heading, or where the possibilities of it heading are. And I can't say it, you know, uploaded to this platform. I just can't. They'll take me down. So go in the newsroom if you want to hear it and see it. Alright, first of all, not financial advice. Consult your licensed financial advisor. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. These are my opinions. I could be completely wrong. This is more of an educational channel on trading and listening to my opinions on economics and the markets. Have your stops in place, emotions out, and don't invest in anything you're not willing to lose. Investing is essentially, in my opinion, gambling money. Alright. Here's a Wall Street cheat sheet for new people, for noobs. This is a macro cycle of emotions. So charting is charting human psychology and emotions, essentially. So are we at the giant bull trap, complacency, back to normal phase, or are we like gonna just melt up on the stock market? I still don't know, but I would not be surprised if we melt up, and I would not be surprised if we don't. At the end of the day, I don't care. Okay? Mining stocks and gold and silver are gonna go up, because the only way from here on in is them just creating more fiat currency and liquidity. They keep calling it liquidity on CNBC. Liquidity is just money they print out of thin air. So I don't want to make a long video, but recently one of the Pelosi here, she's calling for bailouts of the states in the US. And it's really a bailout of New York and California, her state, right? Her constituents, because they've been on a spending spree, deficit spending spree, while other states have been more conservative and not going into debt. And I watched Schiff's last video. It was very good. Did I not post it? I guess I did not. Anyways, and he was right on the money when he says this promotes more deficit spending and it punishes the responsible states, right? So if this does get passed, which it will, because it's the only way Trump will get his construction bill passed to fix the bridges and the roads and the infrastructure, right? The infrastructure bill. They have to play ball with each other, right? Because they lost the House. So in 2018, I believe. So it's just a massive spending spree, and Powell will burr. well, he literally said, "Don't worry about deficits for now." Okay, um, guys, there's going to be so many consequences of everything that's happening this year. The balance sheet is at like 6.6 trillion. It's going to be at 10 probably by the end of this month, and who knows how high it's going to go. And the metals market cannot be ignored any longer. Okay, and this isn't just the U.S. doing this. This is the entire world. It's insanity. That's how bad things are. So when when the world reserve currency and credit creation for every corporation, business, and pretty much centralized government all across the world is based off of a giant credit Ponzi, you have to keep it going. Because if you don't, the house of cards comes down, and people are going to start getting noticed. They're going to start noticing the debt, and the debt is what's going to stop this from all continuing. Because once the debt gets so big, I mean, no one can function. And balance sheets no longer make sense. The fundamentals are completely just unbelievable. P ratios are just in like la la land. None of this makes sense, and it's going to come to a very devastating end. And the smart money already knows that. They've been that's why gold has gone up from 1100 to almost all-time highs now, and smart money's already all in. Believe me, guys, I know that because I go through the balance sheets of the mining companies and I see the funds that are buying them. I see the banks and the institutional investors buying them. Okay? I go through the balance sheets. I have software that goes through it. That's how I research these gold, silver mining companies for the private group, right? Website. Got to plug myself. I'm not doing this for free. All right. I don't know where to go from here on. There's just so much news. I don't know. Listen, the masses are pissed. I told you guys they're going to get pissed. The revolution will not be televised. Okay? Every major city, or not city, but every major state has protesting going on now. BK's back at it. He's saying... just do the opposite of this guy, because this tracker record's hilarious. It's hilarious. He told everyone to buy Cripple at like the all-time high, literally. I've been saying this for like 5 years, guys. Just wait on buying a new car. Just drive your beater as long as humanly possible, and save up money, because you're gonna see it like fire sales, repossessions, 60% off on vehicles. Literally, there's vehicles on ships parked outside the coast of California. Nissan literally did that. All right, let's look at the markets a little bit. Again, gold back above 1700. They keep trying to knock it down, but they can't. I'm telling you, the opportunity to accumulate is really running out. Okay? You're just going to see a huge move one day. It's just going to shoot straight up. Don't know when, but I have this feeling it's soon. I have a feeling it's going to be this spring or summer. Okay? And mining companies, their stocks, like that, boom. In like 1 week, they're just going to shoot up and up and up. Is it like hundreds of % moves in like a week? That's what I think is going to happen. The dollar is starting to show some weakness. This is interesting. Um, Especially if they come out. Okay, so they have to come out with another small business stimulus. Then they're going to bail out the states and the pensions and all that. That's going to be another 4 trillion. At that point, I mean, even the dollar can't. The milkshake theory can't hold up the dollar that much longer. I'm not saying it's going to crash, but it's definitely going to take a hit, right? At least it's going to drop back down to like the 95, 94 handle, something like that. But once this 200-day moving average is taken out, we're going to see a nice drop in the DXY. And then that should be a nice catalyst to push gold to new all-time highs. And then even as these lockdowns come off, silver, the demand for silver is going to come back somewhat. Just enough to kick off a bull market in silver and to get that ratio to start not widening but narrowing, the gold to silver ratio. And then it'll be the gentleman's and the poor man's gold, and then it'll become more of a financial safe haven investment, more so than like an industrial metal demand. And now there's also opportunities in a couple other metal markets that might have some huge upside for the private members. I have a few more tickers coming out and companies I'm looking at. Anyways, I'm talking about like platinum, and there might be an opportunity in uranium as well. And then we also have swing trades. I put on swing trades in the energy sector, like oil. So big moves are coming for the rest of this year, and then looking forward. Let's look at the Dow here real quick. Actually, let's do the S&P 500. Now, this does look like the giant bull trap, and it might play out like that because earnings. Oh yeah, unemployment over what is it? 30 million Americans at this rate. In a couple months, it'll be 50 million Americans. So I haven't looked at the data in like a year or two or something like that, but based off of my memory, do not quote me. I'm going to be wrong on these figures. I'm just ballparking them. It's like 190 million Americans had jobs prior to this out of the 330 million. Um, the elderly, the boomers, right? And then the young kids all the way till like probably age 24 because they're like just milking college, don't have jobs. And then most of the 190 million have like part-time jobs. Not most, but a huge portion prior to this crisis. Well, 50 million losing their jobs out of 190 will drop, the working class down to 140 million. 140 million out of 330 million is like 1/3 of the population will still have jobs, like full-time jobs, real jobs, good jobs, middle class type jobs. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what will. That's another reason why metals are just going to explode and the dollar is going to the dollar is going to take a hit once they announce another 4 trillion in stimulus, and then eventually they're going to have to come out with UBI, universal basic income, because if they don't, the pitchforks and torches come out. And it's as simple as that. Now, what will happen with the markets? Right now, again, guys, I gave you guys 3 scenarios. Someone was complaining in the comment section, well, you just said every scenario. You're not telling us what's going to happen. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a prophet, you idiot. I let the market tell me what's going to happen. But I did tell you that it's actually more likely they're going to run the price. Well, the most likely thing is they're not going to let the markets drop. I'm very certain they're not going to let the markets make a new all-time low below on the S&P 500, below like 2200. They're not going to let that happen. So there's really only 2 scenarios for the rest of this year. either this is the bull trap, it will drop, we'll get a decent correction, but then the PPT, plunge protection team, comes in, more stimulus, whatever it takes. Jerome Powell said it, right? And then back up, and then maybe some sideways action. Or, this will just be a dip, and they will cause the markets to melt up. And then we live in some real financial economic dystopia where most people don't have jobs and the real economy and the small businesses are all going under, and the real economy is in a Great Depression while the stock market is making new all-time highs, because basically the Fed is just bailing out the major international monopoly corporations. All right? It doesn't matter. All of this is super inflationary in the end. At least stagflationary for a while, and then we'll get a later, So, and the best case scenario is we get stagflation for many years, for the next 5 years in the US. That would be awesome because metals will go up, but we will still have purchasing power. Yes, food will be a little more expensive, but that's not going to break the, well, it depends how awesome your gains are going to be, right? From this bull market in metals, while they do this, essentially, keep the markets trading sideways or artificially propped, or I don't think they should make it go any higher, because then it'll just, because you might get another blow off top. I think this is more likely what's about to happen, but this again wouldn't surprise me, right? So I don't know yet. We're about to find out this week again. I'm gonna make a more in-depth video later on this, but right now I have to go. And in the newsroom, I uploaded an uncut version of me ranting, if you really want to see that. Alright guys, until next time, smash some likes, leave anything in the comment section, and share my videos. Oh yeah, I do want to, there was another comment from a guy, and he said the dollar is backed by the military. Yeah, Rome thought that as well. So did Austria, Hungarian Empire, the German Empire, and the Chinese, and the English Empire. Yeah, it is for a while, and then you just can't finance it. And then once you can't finance the Russian Empire, the latest one, they had a huge military. Huge. How did that work out in the early or late 80s, early 90s when the wall came down? That's not an argument. All right, guys.